Everybody, good morning. This is Dr. Lady J. I'm here with another coaching session lesson for you. Thank you so much to those of you who have been sharing the video. You are definitely empowering and inspiring other people, and let that be your gift this year. You know, you don't always have to give physical gifts, but sometimes you can give gifts like this, and it's just what people need. So today we're going to be talking about how to deal with controlling people. Whew. Okay, let me do a woosah, because that is a pet peeve of mine. I have a hard time dealing with people who are control freaks. It's just difficult for me. I don't like it. And if you like it, I love it. Okay, I don't really like it, but anyway, we're going to be talking about that. How do you deal with people who always have to be in control? And I want to share some secrets with you to help you to understand why these people may be acting the way that they're acting. And that helps you to better understand how you need to proceed moving forward. You know, because sometimes things are not always as they seem to be. So let's get into it. Now, today, how do you deal with controlling people? What is a controlling person? In case anybody who's fallen off the face of the earth has no idea what a controlling person is, but a person who to describe this type of person who loves to be in control. Okay, they are the kind of people who have to have the last word. They are going to make sure that you hear what they have to say, even if they have to raise their voice 10 octaves higher to get your attention. They are people who don't have a problem demeaning you. They are people who don't have a problem gossiping about you, lying on you. They are people who are very self-absorbed, and they look at you as the problem, and they don't have one. Now, that's a little bit of who these people are. And I'm pretty sure if you're my age, or even if you're in your early 20s, you've dealt with somebody who is a control freak. So how do we deal with them? And can we deal with them? Is it a way that we can actually deal with these people and still go about our life and still be okay? So the first thing that I would like to say to you is, as you're dealing with these type of people, is you want to kind of sit back and take mental notes. Okay, if you want to do physical notes, it's okay, but I take mental notes. I watch people a lot, so you might want to sit back and just watch and take mental notes. Watch their behavior. Watch how they act. Are they acting this way the same time? Every time they get around you, is it the same type of behavior? Are they saying the same types of things to you? Are you feeling the same way? And for the victim, and I will call this person a victim who's in this position constantly dealing with a controlling person, because believe it or not, people who are very controlling and who want to have that upper hand in the last word, they're also abusive. It falls under the category of abuse. Because when you have to constantly be in control, you have to have the last word. Things have to go your way, or you get upset, or you get angry, or you're throwing a tantrum in order to get that person to fall in line. That is a form of abuse. And I hope everybody got what I'm saying. That is a form of abuse. So you want to look at their behavior, look at their mannerisms, because you can tell a lot just by watching people. Hey, Jabari, how are you? Thank you, Dr. E, for sharing. Congratulations to Dr. E on his books being on the shelf. Congratulations. That's what I'm talking about. Positive energy. So you want to make sure that you identify the controlling behavior just by watching. Sometimes we have to be quiet. Love you too, brother. Sometimes we have to be quiet and just look. And I know it's irritating when people are coming at you and they constantly are on you and they want to be in control. But sometimes it's best to be quiet, close your mouth, and just pay attention and take mental notes, because you can see, hear, and know a lot just by being quiet. So watch their behavior and watch how they always have to have control, not just with you, but in everything. Okay? And then don't sit there and get caught up in the fact that they're constantly going off on you because you're not falling in line, and you're starting to feel like they're right. Maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. No, again, pay attention, listen, watch, look, because you are the victim, not the problem, okay? You are the victim, not the problem. And so what you need to do is make sure that you keep your mind focused, okay? Keep your mind focused. Don't let them distract you, and pay attention, because they will beat you down to the point where you're in tears, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling sad, you're feeling like you did something wrong, when in fact, you're not the problem. They are, okay? Good morning, Damon. They are the problem. And so don't believe the hype. Don't believe those lies that you're the problem, you're this or that. No, if they keep coming at you with that same energy and coming at you the same way, and if things don't go their way, it's a problem, and they're blowing up, pay attention. You're the victim, okay? But it's very easy, and I'm going to share something with you. It's very easy to get caught up in thinking that you're the problem, because they're also manipulators as well. And so as you're watching these people, as you're paying attention to their behavior patterns, I want you to also take some mental notes, and I would take some physical notes on this as well, because you need to understand what is it about you that triggers that person, or makes that person always feel like they need to come at you for something. Okay? So on this one, I would definitely say take some physical notes. Does it happen at the same time every year? Does it happen, every week, every month? Start thinking about the interactions you've had with this person over the years. Maybe some things have happened between you and that person, and just try to take some notes and jot down anything that comes to mind. Jot it down, and then start looking over your notes, because you will begin to see that this is a pattern, and it happens at a certain time. It's not just happening, out of nowhere. It's happening at a certain time. And these are patterns. And there's something sometimes in us that we don't even realize. We may remind that person of somebody, and every time we step up, they get triggered and they go off about something. Or maybe we were in a situation together and we thought, we said we were sorry, it's healed, it's over, but that person is still being triggered every time you come around, or every time you have a conversation about something. Maybe it's a reminder of something. I don't know, but begin to take notes, especially if you are around this person or not, a lot, because you need to know, you need to watch the patterns of behavior, and you need to also watch and try to figure out what's triggering this person to constantly go off like this all the time. Now, the other thing is, don't fall into that behavior of answering them back. Because see, and I say this all the time, people who are going through different things, they lash out, they get emotional, they get angry, and they will keep picking on you, picking and saying stuff. And if one thing doesn't get you, they'll say something else to get your attention. And then all of a sudden you find that you are lashing out at them. You're yelling and screaming back at them. And that's all they wanted. They just wanted to get your attention, and they want you to be miserable just like them. A lot of times these people who are controlling are sometimes watching you move forward. They're watching you grow. They're watching you elevate. And that makes them angry because they're trying to do the same thing and they can't figure out how to do it. They can't figure out how to get there. And if they only realize, if they would just stop and get some help and start working on them, they could do the same thing that you're doing. Y'all hear me controlling people? They could do the exact same thing. And so don't respond. Don't give them a response. It took me years, I'm telling you, it took me years to zip this lip and no longer respond. Because a response to them is like a drug to a drug addict. You just gave them that boost that they need. Yeah, I got them this time. I got it that time. I bet they won't mess with me again. And they keep going on, and they're waiting for the next time, and the next time, and the next time. The biggest gift that you can give yourself is to not respond to that negativity. One, you know it's not true. Two, you clearly see that this person has a problem because they just don't stop. And three, it's just wasting your time. Do you have time to waste like that? Because I don't. It's a waste of time. And when people don't have anything to do, and when they're not working on them, and when they're not investing time in things that could actually help them to make a difference in life and in other people, they find someone to invest their time and attention on, and they start working on you like a surgeon. I would say the best thing to do as you're working on, I'm going to give you some tips. The best thing to do as you're dealing with these controlling people, as I said, is learn how to ignore them. It takes a lot of discipline. When you see them starting to act up, when you see them starting to go off, when they're starting to say different things, listen, they're not holding the phone. You are. You can hang up if you want to. You don't have to hold on. And I understand that moment, that feeling, because there's been times when I had to say to myself, why am I still holding on to this phone? Click. I don't have to listen to this. But we get stuck. Because sometimes, a lot of times, these people catch you off guard. So it's not like, it's coming, or, something happened and you're like, oh boy, they're going to go off. They totally catch you off guard. Most of the time, you don't even know it's coming. And you've been blindsided. And so we jump into getting mad, yelling back, screaming. You don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and the third. And that's why I said take notes. Take notes and pay attention. When is this happening? How often is it happening? Because now this is a pattern and this person has a problem. And so the best thing I can do is not join in on the party. I can't join in with that. I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to pull back and I'm going to stay out of it. But if you choose to sit there and try to have a conversation with them, which I would encourage you also, to try to have little conversations with them, not in that trigger moment, not when they're going through something, but when you all are doing good in the honeymoon phase, when you are in that moment of, when you're having fun and you're laughing, try to have a little conversation with them to see what's going on, what's been happening. Maybe that will give you some insight as to why they are controlling. We never know what people are going through. We never know what they're dealing with. And sometimes we can be a reminder. We can be a trigger. As much as they may love you and care for you, there's a disconnect. And they're torn because on the one hand they love you, and then on the other hand they mad as I don't know what, because it's like, why is this person growing and going and doing this and that and I'm still stuck, And so I would say, ask the questions, have the conversations, don't push it too much, just lightly, gently, so you can kind of get an idea of where they are, and know when to pull back, know when to stop talking. Don't take it too far. Don't push it too far. Watch their body language. Their body language may tell you, this is uncomfortable. I really don't want to talk about it. Cut it off. And then I would say this: when you have tried and tried and given as much as you can, and you've had the conversations and you've tried to work it out, sometimes it's better to pull back and pull away and let that person grow in their own space, in their own time. Let them figure it out, because their healing is not your responsibility. Sometimes we feel like, I'm just going to stick around and I'm going to try to help this person. No, 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 no. Their healing is not your responsibility. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I have a family member, and, for years, it's just been the back and forth. And I finally practiced what I just said to you all. And I put those things into practice, and I was able to come up with a pattern that's been taking place year after year after year, around the same time, year after year after year. There's an explosion. I don't know when it's coming. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know what I had done, but all I knew is that the rage was coming out of me, because this person would always explode on me. And when I started jotting things down, as I've said to you, and I started making those physical notes and mental notes, the picture started coming together. All of the puzzle pieces started falling into place. And I realized at this point in time, it's better for me to pull back and continue to work on me. Because every time those triggers and those daggers and swords came at me, I was in tears. This person didn't even know. I would be in tears because I'm just like, why? What is going on? I thought we were good. Only to find out, when people have not healed, they go through these ups and downs, these highs and these lows. And when those trigger moments come around, if you don't heal and if you don't understand what your triggers, your emotional triggers are, there's so many different things can happen. That's a whole nother coaching session. And so you have to learn what triggers that person. Are you the trigger? You got to learn those things. Try to follow what I've just given you. You may talk to someone else, therapist, counselor. They may give you additional information. But this is a start for you, a starting point. Let's not hate the controlling person, because now we realize that that person is going through something or has gone through something and has not fully dealt with what they've gone through. Because think about it this way. Who wants to go through life? Who wants to go through life on an emotional roller coaster? I don't. I do not. I want to, I know things are going to happen. I know stuff is going to come up. But I don't want to be on an emotional roller coaster. And I don't want to be around people who are on an emotional roller coaster. That's not normal behavior. It's not. And so when you see these people and you see these symptoms and these signs, know that they're going through something. And so that in itself helps me not to have anger, animosity, hatred for anybody in my life who's like that. Because I understand that they have a problem. And I also understand that in certain situations, it's best for me to put my hands up and pull back and allow that person to be in their space and to heal on their own. And their space does not include me. Their activities don't include me. Their conversations don't include me. And I have to understand that. I have to accept it, and I have to be okay with it. And that's a part of growth on your end, my end, And also us allowing that person to grow. Now, if that person goes to the grave and they're the same person till they go to the grave because they see you as the problem and they're not, that's on them. I'm not responsible for your healing, but I am responsible for still being kind, for still being available. If something comes up and they need me right away, I'm there. But I'm not responsible for your healing. And you cannot continue to be a punching bag for somebody else's pain and suffering. Okay? Don't be a punching bag. What is it? Everlast? I think Everlast. Is it Everlast? That's the punching bag? Yeah. Let the boxers do that. Don't be a punching bag. Don't be a repository for anybody's pain. You are responsible for you. They are responsible for themselves. And sometimes you have to love people from a distance. All right? My name is Dr. Lady J. Listen, make sure you share this video, empower and inspire somebody else. I'm proud of every single person who has said to me, Dr. J, I am now going to therapy, or Dr. J, I have called to make my appointment for therapy. I'm so happy for you. Hand clap. Keep up the good work. And you guys have a great day. Have a wonderful day. Remember, you are not the problem, okay? If you're dealing with a controlling person and they are beating you down and wearing you down, you are the victim, and that is a form of abuse, okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day. Be blessed. I look forward to speaking with you all tomorrow.